Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
There's one thing I want to touch on.
Please.
Mark Stone is injured. I don't dispute that. He's missed like 20 games this year.
Yeah.
But to see Vegas, the day that Jack Eichel is miraculously available to play, Mark Stone has to go on the LTIR.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything wrong. They're not evil.
Yeah. They
manipulated the salary cap and legally circumvented it the way a lot of teams have done and are doing. Yeah. I feel like now if you're not
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, if you're not manipulating the salary cap right now, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
However, the one thing that I will say is that this is a systemic problem that like, to me, it's ridiculous. And I'll tell you why. The Buffalo Sabres and the Ottawa Senators are playing tonight. Okay? They have a game. They have a game tonight.
Yeah.
It's a nothing game in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
They're not making the playoffs. Yep. Neither of them is making the playoffs, and neither of them is bad enough to get, the first pick. So it's literally a nothing game in the middle of February in the dog days. Like, this typifies a nothing game to me.
Right.
Two bad teams in February, dog days of the season. Boom. Nothing game.
So are you tuning in?
What?
Are you tuning in?
Yeah, no. But to me, that game,
yeah,
the Ottawa Senators and the Buffalo Sabres for tonight's game, before they step on the ice, they have to be cap compliant.
Right.
Right? They've got to be compliant with the salary cap or they can't play.
Right.
Right? So two bad teams playing a nothing game in February have to be cap compliant, but a team playing in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final doesn't.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense on any level at all?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you change it, because you'd have to change the collective bargaining agreement, and I think teams like it this way and the league likes it this way. But how can you be $10 million or $15 or $18 million over the salary cap in the Stanley Cup final and have to be cap compliant for a nothing game in February? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree with you. I mean, on one side of that, it's, going back to the Tampa Bay Lightning last year, it's impressive that they managed to play so well without their arguably best player in Nikita Kucherov, right, throughout the year. But at the same, so they would have had to have drafted well in order to be in a situation where they could have had a team that was good enough to do that sort of thing. Which they did, of course. But it is, like, I agree. Either, make this a soft cap, or, which I know that most teams don't want to do, but I'm sorry. If you're the Arizona Coyotes ownership and you don't want to make it a soft cap, screw you. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you're talking about, like, New York Rangers, then the Toronto Maple Leafs, then the Montreal Canadiens, and then maybe Boston.
Yeah.
I think.
The heavy hitters. Yeah.
Those are the four teams
Vegas.
that are making up about 50% of all the revenue. If they want a soft cap, which I'm pretty sure that most of them do, no inside information, just, I know that they're not afraid of, none of those teams are afraid of spending money because they know that they're making it. If they want a soft cap because they want to get that playoff money in, then they should just do it, because right now it's getting to be a joke that the fact that this loophole is being exploited again and again and again. And this is the most blatant one. This is like, I've got a 2-year-old, you've got kids. You know what it's like when kids, they push that boundary and then they push it again. Yeah. To me,
it's just, to me, I remember Ron Wilson in his first year with Toronto. They saw him on TV giving a couple of $100 to the guy who got the winning goal.
Right.
Against, I assume it was Anaheim, his old team or whatever.
Yeah.
And they dinged him. Right.
Yeah.
So, like,
for $200.
Yeah. So, like, you're gonna get that anal about it.
Yeah.
On the one side of the salary cap, but you're not on this side of the salary cap.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I mean, it's all well and good to talk about a soft cap, but it's never coming. You're never getting that genie You're never getting that toothpaste back in the tube. There's no way. The owners have it too good. And I think a lot of the revenue generating teams, they generate more revenues because they don't spend $130 million a year on salaries. They can only spend 81.5.
Okay, but Montreal's capped out this year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they're not going to the playoffs.
Right.
So if you were to tell Jeff Molson, hey, spend another $5 million, and obviously Montreal is not a $5 million player away, but let's just say, hypothetically in this weird situation I've concocted, you tell Jeff Molson, spend another $5 million, and then you can get at least one round of playoff revenue. Every day he does it.
Yeah. Or spend another $5 million and take on a salary that you don't want so you can get assets for the future.
Right.
He does that too. But it's not going to happen, Dylan.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Franchise values are through the roof. They continue to climb, and they do so because the NHL has cost certainty. Yeah. That's what they want. They want cost certainty, even though they don't really have it, because you end up spending way more than the salary cap allows you to spend.
Yeah.
But they want the cost certainty, and they've got it. They worked hard to do it. They shut down the league for a year to get it.
Twice.
And then for a whole year in 2004, 2005. And then they shut it down again to get more of the percentage of revenues. They want this, and it's not going back. It's not going back. Unless the players are prepared to sit out for 2 years, which clearly they're not.
Yeah. And why would they be?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're doing okay too.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. The last thing that I'll say about that is, and what's so unfortunate about this is that it's clearly cap circumvention, but as much as it's cap circumvention is annoying, it's an annoying issue to talk about. It's an annoying issue to have in the league. It's all those things. But I would want to see a situation where guys like Mark Stone, guys like clearly Jeff Petrie this year, clearly probably 2 players on every single team are playing with lingering injuries.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see a situation where they could clear up those lingering injuries. But this it sullies that to me.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, okay, I'm not going to question whether Mark Stone's injured, because you know what? He plays hockey at the National Hockey League level. He's injured.
Yeah, he is. Everybody is. Everybody is.
Right?
But he really is. I mean, he's missed a bunch of games because of this, right? So I don't question, question the validity of the injury.
Yeah.
I don't question that he's legitimately injured.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to question if he legitimately comes back in the playoffs and is okay.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how the league can be so anal about the salary cap in some ways, and then just be so flippant about it in others.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.